So today we did an activity where we listened to several musical excerpts. There were a few like Hedwig's Flight from the Harry Potter movie, as well as the Ice Dance from the Edward Scissorhand movie. I think it was a really rewarding activity because obviously music is all around us in our everyday lives. We listen to it, we sing along to it, but when do we kind of get the chance to kind of sit down and appreciate the music and listen to every kind of technical note or something like that? So it was this activity that made me really appreciate each musical piece, because there's so many things happening in that musical piece. Like for the Ice Dance in the Edward Scissorhand movie, within the first few seconds there's already 3 or more different instruments playing, as well as different instrumental families. So this activity also opened myself to the fact that there is a lot of thought and intention from the composer that goes into the music that they make. For example, due to John Williams' contextual knowledge of a white and beautiful owl, that's what he said, he composed Hedwig's Flight, describing it as being gossamer. Even he even influenced the type of instruments he used in his composition. He stated that he used the Celestia instrument because it sounded like a bell, and if played in a certain way, he says that it gives it a blur effect, which reminded him of how a bird feather would just float around, kind of like a blur, mystical kind of effect. So it's clear that any composer's context greatly influences their music. After that, we were given an iPad between two to compose music by using GarageBand. My partner and I chose the Spooky Soundscape worksheet, which included us exploring the application and experimenting with different instruments. We explored with the cello, drums, and keyboard. We had to make a spooky story up, and so our story was about the main character trying to find his way out of a haunted house. So we incorporated fast, jolty, high-pitched sound to kind of represent his footsteps as well as create suspense. There we also incorporated deep and loud drum beats to mirror the character's heartbeat. I think this activity is great for kids. I think they'll have so much fun with it. So I'm really excited to try this activity with my future students, just to see kind of what they come up with and which instrumental sound evokes an emotion within them. Like how could they manipulate the cello to convey happiness rather than eeriness? Because me and my partner, we use the cello. We went lower than higher pitch, which kind of created a really eerie, uncomfortable feeling. Whereas if played in a certain way, you can kind of make it sound kind of happy. So it will be fun for students to just experiment with that. And then, yeah, I'll be excited to see what they come up with as well. So with our activity, we made a spooky story. For my future teaching, I will add on to this activity by making other, emotional stories, like a happy story as well as sad stories, just so students can explore and convey different emotions with their music. We could even read a storybook like The Gruffalo and then use the plot of the story or their interpretation of the main character's journey as a stimulus for them to compose their own music using GarageBand. And also in this way, we would be able to integrate the KLAs, which is an added bonus. Overall, this lesson was really fun because we were able to firstly appreciate music and then use this appreciation to compose our own music, taking into account the tone, color, dynamic, pitch, duration, and structure.